in Christ. Pinching your this isn't gonna stop that. Chat, I need you guys to like take a chill pill. Like my crab cakes caused a car crash. What? Like literally repress this memory so far down that you never think of it ever again.
Part 2. I asked my crab cakes to submit their craziest confessions, and we're doing part 2 today. I hope you enjoy, and I hope I don't get scarred for life. Get from my girlfriend every day, and we call it fan service. This is the stupidest confession I've ever seen. What do you mean? How is this a confession? I very often have lurid dreams of scenarios I wish were real or ideas I wish I could write, animate with. It's very annoying personally. I just want to have wild adventure dreams that make zero sense. My lobster too buttery. My pillow too cold. What the what is wrong with you? You know, people would love to dream it all. Yeah, you're just flexing your wet dreams on us. I'm one of the few people who actually does like bare feet in a kink way. Bare feet are pretty, and Lucia's bare feet are really cute. I haven't watched the VOD to see why she changed back to the prior model prior starting soon screen. Oh, I do have bare feet. Is this what you were into? No, because last time I was like,
Oh my god, guys, like I'm gonna have bare feet. Like look at my toes.
Chat was like, okay, and now that you haven't had it in a while, you're like, oh my god, feet. Oh, you. No, you guys. I think women's feet are really pretty. The curve is nice. It's cool. I like the idea of giving foot jobs, but that's about it. You got your feet tattooed on the top or the bottom? What's on your feet? I have a serial number that I had to get. So if I ever, you know, you know what, Brian, how are you doing now? How's your life now? Do we have dental health insurance? Graduating from my 2nd degree soon. I'm so proud of you, Brian. Female muscle growth is one of my biggest kinks. My awakening was watching She-Hulk's first transformation from the 1996 Incredible Hulk cartoon back in 2009. It's always a nice way to get in the mood, but the world isn't ready for that conversation yet. There's a lot of people that like muscular women. Just come out of the closet, man. It's okay. We see you and we accept you. I'm a big fan of those Loft House frosted sugar cookies. Okay, that's up. You can like muscular women all you want, but the fact that you like the frosted sugar cookies that we all ate when we were 8 years old and you're probably in your 30s, girl, get checked for diabetes. Those cookies have so much sugar in them. They're not good. They're bad for you. They taste bad. They're literally the best. Have you had them recently? Because I've tried, I've tried to find the happiness that filled me when I was a child, but I had them recently and they're so bad. The July 4th cookies, those are so bad. I honestly don't make the biggest effort to cover my neck if it's been bitten and sucked. I kind of like that people can see it. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. What did you expect me to say to this? Like, I literally, like, this is based. I cover up my stuff though. I get really embarrassed. Like when I was in college, I had like bruises like all over my neck and my collarbone. I had to wear a turtleneck. I had to cover it up and it pissed me off because I had to cover it up for like a week. It was so frustrating. Was it worth it? No. I love and support so many Kami Oshis to the point of last year alone, I gave them a collective of $5,000, even if I needed it more. Giving is my love language, so I always want to make sure that they have something that they need and want. Spoiling them is my life's blood. I now have a better income, so I can spoil them more, but I'm trying to hold back to help pay for bills in house. So far, so good. Good for you. I think people should take their money and use it on themselves. But I also appreciate people who spend it on VTubers because unfortunately, we need it to help pay for our bills in our house. But you should always do what you need to do first. When I was a kid, I went to a military-ish summer camp in China for 9 days. The whole 9 days without pooping. Oh my God. Snatched about 2 handfuls of bullet casings to take with me home, but got into a lot of trouble at the airport. Things turned out well because I was 12. What summer camp in China and where are you from? Who sent you to that camp? I'm terrified. I used to be a Steven Universe fan. Okay, that's fine. That's the worst one so far. I secretly envision my first time being really slow and sweet, like maybe a 24-hour set. What? It begin early in the mornings, like twilight, where it's still night, but the sun is creeping up. It's secluded, part of a beach, like a private rented, or maybe like a mini summer shack with an outdoor balcony where I can look at the sunrise. I would have refreshments and fresh fruit. And definitely coconuts. I'd shower first and do some preemptive stretching. Then I'd take in the moment, set in the mood, soak in the smell, and take it all in. I put on some lotion to get the skin nice and smooth. I'd slowly walk to the edge and stick my finger in it. Ew. To test the moisture and temperature, maybe taste it. Ew. Then I eventually walk into it. I'd finally be in the ocean. Why are you tasting the ocean? The ocean is literally salt. Like, you're not missing anything. I've secretly always wanted to go my first date. Never gotten that far. So you haven't been to the ocean and you haven't had your first date. 2 birds, 1 stone. Just take a woman or man to the ocean. I've been in a relationship, friends with benefits with an ex-star webcam model Hungarian MILF. Old enough to be my mom for 13 years. Seen video chats, friends on Facebook, the whole 9 yards. Zoli? It wasn't me. I like how they included Facebook. That's huge. Friends on Facebook is like kind of public territory. Like, other people can see your friends on Facebook. What if you have mutuals? That's terrifying. Oh, I need to know so much more than this. Why are they Hungarian? No, I'm literally so serious. Like, how did you find a Hungarian ex-star webcam model MILF?
And what do you look like?
What do you look like? What does she look like? I need to know. What's going on? Back in the depths of winter 2020, I bought and played enough hours of Fallout 76 that I gave myself a second full-time job. 500 hours in just over 3 months. Okay, but this is COVID time. You can't go from a Hungarian MILF to just playing Fallout 76. That's -2. I've experienced a Halloween party where my sister and friends were invited. We dealt with trick-or-treaters, dressed in costumes, talked around a table and ate. Then it took a turn. We all watched a movie. The 2 hosts in the bed in the room started having quiet under the blanket, and everyone else was so immediately uncomfortable. After the night was over, my sister and her group immediately had issues about what happened and started hanging out less with the host. To a note to anyone wanting to do things in public, be aware that people will probably still know that you're doing this. Let them I feel like you're a hater. Just let them get a room. That was their room. They got invited over. No, that is weird though. I don't understand the whole like, well, okay, I can't. Never mind. I can't talk. When I was in college, I got while his roommate was still in the room. So I literally can't talk. The noise alone, not if it's ninja style. Working in healthcare, I was taking care of a patient that I had some relatives that were in the way and hindering us. I got so annoyed at them that I went to prep coffee for them. I put in laxatives so they had to go to the bathroom. And suddenly we can finish up with the patient with no issue and everything ended up okay. Lesson of the day, don't be a to hospital personnel. I think lesson of the day is don't drug people. I don't think you got the right lesson from that. We should reflect on this memory of you. One of the craziest secrets I have to share is about this one time when I was at my buddy's farm. Oh God, no animal. Please. We brought up this car that we have been beating on for a couple of months, and right after I won a demo derby race with the car, we were celebrating out at the farm shooting some guns and driving through cornfields. Well, when we were done driving around, we parked it up by the pond, but a shooting range, and I guess the parking brake failed because it ended up rolling into the pond. We tried to pull it out, but it ended up sinking to the bottom, and besides the 5 of us, no one else even knows it's down there, and if his parents ever find out, they'd kill him, so we all just kept it a secret and said we scraped the car. But isn't it like a car anyway, so it doesn't even matter? So like, why would they care? Like you said, you were beating up on it. I can't believe it rolled into the pond though. I love the idea of like 5 men just freaking out, slipping in mud, trying to get the car back. Another crazy experience I've had in my life was this time when I was visiting one of my buddies up at his college now. Since I never went to college, I'd always go out to visit to my friend whenever there was a big party going on. It was the Halloween block party, which was always one of the biggest parties out there that would close down an entire street to have it. Now it was getting really late and the cops were trying to kick people off the street. Well, this one guy thought it'd be a good idea to try doing a burnout on the street. We got blocked in by all the people. Cops were going to arrest him, so he fled on foot, but everybody there, myself including, were upset that this guy did that. So we ended up flipping his car in the middle of the road before running away from the cops. Why is everyone in we got someone drugging people with laxatives, and then we got other people flipping people's cars? Why? That's fun. Flipping the car sounds valid. No. What is wrong with people? He shut down the party? Who cares? Just go home. I always had a babysitter fetish, but it was because I grew up watching those American Pie movies as a kid and some other movies with a babysitter that took care of the teenagers and was just here for the scenes. You know the ones I'm talking about. I literally don't. I literally don't. The thing is, that specific fetish doesn't work anymore because I'm an adult and those babysitter sleeps with the dad doesn't work for me. It's always something stuck in the back of my mind and I can't talk to no one about this. I'm afraid of the meaning behind these thoughts. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a babysitter fetish. At least it's not a baby fetish. You know what I'm saying? Like they're an adult, you're an adult. If you're a single dad and you're hoping your babysitter sleeps with you, as long as it's a fantasy and you don't try anything. Years ago, me and a teacher despised each other, so I tried to make her get fired at the end of that year, but it backfired when she took half a year off and we had to deal with a substitute teacher that was just as bad as her. Chat, I need you guys to like take a chill pill. Like if you don't like people, just move on with your life. You guys are drugging people with laxatives, flipping over cars, and trying to get people fired. What is happening? I was so down bad for a Japanese girl I met on a student exchange when I was younger. I went and gooned in the bullet train toilet. I think we've all gooned in a public toilet at least once.
We? Who's we?
I feel like that's like kind of normal. I've definitely gooned in a school toilet and like a university toilet. I just think people should masturbate more. I've always wanted to go animal with my girlfriend, rip her clothes off, choke her, bite her neck, then taste her surrender like a wolf claiming it's bunny. Okay, that's a lot. I feel like sometimes we can just say things without being so intense, you know? That's something we keep to ourselves. I'm like so not into predator prey type. I can't even lie to you. If a guy was like, yeah, that's right, I'm wolf kitten, I would literally leave. I don't know. It's just not my thing. There's probably girls out there that really like it, but it'd be like if I called Bluto and was like,
hey man, I'm in front of my family. What do you want to say?
I would love to pounce on you and pin you down in front of your family so they know who the alpha is.
Dad, I don't know her.
I've always wanted to put a pet collar in my girlfriend's neck so she can be a good girl and please her master. Brother, I get it. Like, pet play is fun. Calling someone master can be fun. But like, why are you writing it so graphically? I don't want to know this. I have 15 OCs with their different styles and their own fetishes, which I love. Yet I don't know in what scenario to tie them in. Like maniac, sadistic girl with her tinkering abilities for machines and will to enjoy her victim, or plant cat girl. What the are you talking about? What do you mean will to enjoy her victim? I once used my fingers on my ex-girlfriend during a 200 lecture in college. I even answered a question while she had to hide her face. That's hot. Nice. I don't know how you did that, but that's cool. I wonder what subject it was. Because if it was math, I wouldn't even be dry. I also used my lab's meeting room to hook up with a different girl a few years later. It would have been so funny if you were like, yeah, the next period I hooked up with a different girl in the lab, but thankfully it was a few years later. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Lost my virginity to a worker when I was 27. I suffered from crippling anxiety since I was a teen, and I've had to adapt to a mostly isolated lifestyle due to my inability to overcome it. Came across a clique of sex workers one day, and after months of talking myself into it, I finally scheduled the 90-minute session. I thought it was appropriate to bring a decent tip too, so in total I brought about 560 in 20s to pay this girl. I traveled an hour to the other side of the city, and once I arrived, I came flustered from the first barely dressed woman I met in person. She had to ask the session be brought down to an hour. Some complications with her communicating with the woman scheduling for her. I didn't mind, but was way too flustered to remember to take some of my cash back in exchange. That 20% tip turned into a 60% because of that. My fault. She was super kind and patient. Most of what we did was just make out and cuddle. I had an extremely tough time getting hard enough to actually penetrate. It did happen, but I was far too nervous to actually do anything but stutter. And at one point I panicked because my stupid brain thought the broke. Anyways, aside from me wasting an extra 150 on the same service, it was genuinely memorable. She invited me again, but I haven't taken that offer due to a series of financial crises I've suffered since then, but I would totally do it if I could. I never told anyone else about this experience, not my friends or anyone in my family. Well, I would hope not. I genuinely respect and love these workers for everything they do. That's awesome. I'm glad you are no longer a virgin and you did it in a way that felt right to you. Also, I hope your anxiety is better. Other people are just living their life too, man. You don't have to be so worried. You don't have to impress anyone, and no one is as cool as they think they are. As a child, when I was home alone, I always felt watched. My room opened into the hallway, and from there I could see something that just lingered in the doorway, watching me without ever coming closer. It always did this when I was alone at night. One day I challenged it and asked, "What do you want?" Didn't answer. I approached it and it simply disappeared. And when I went back to my bed to try to sleep, it would reappear. I did this for many years until I moved. Since then, I haven't seen it. In my current house, they at least let me close the door, but even so, I feel that the shadow or thing never really left. It's just waiting for the exact moment to reappear and repeat what it did before. Girl, either you got a demon you gotta exercise, or you gotta go on some schizophrenia meds. Sometimes I like to go on Discord and roleplay with people. Oh yeah, this is already my confession. I'm already happy. I have a few pals I play with regularly, but sometimes I like to go through servers and find new people. I found someone and we started chatting in DMs, going over the usual small talk, getting a feel for mutual interest, but I had work that day and told them I'd be AFK. Later, while I'm at work, I got a message from them saying that with me at work would be the best chance to test my loyalty, and ordered me to find my most attractive coworker and fatbet them without getting caught. I was stun locked. I thought they were joking, but I was so disgusted and put off by it, I didn't even respond. I blocked them, reported them to the mods, and jumped out of the server. Thankfully, nothing similar has happened again. I still roleplay, but now much more carefully. Dude, what the? Yeah, not to them, at them. What the does that mean? Like, just walking behind them with your out and stroking it? That is so creepy. Don't involve other people in your weird it without them consenting to it and knowing about it. That is so weird. Oh my God, this next one. I don't even want to read it. I have a severe tickling fetish, meaning I get off to tickling women and seeing women be tickled. 95% of the porn I consume is about tickling. I have a foot fetish too, so tickling the feet is high tier, but other body parts work too, especially genitalia. How the do you tickle a vagina? If a man went coochie coochie coo to my coochie, hell no. Hell no. You are a freak. I'm also very particular. I hate seeing men tickled. I told someone about it for the first time a couple months ago, but besides that, nobody else I know IRL or online knows about it. I have knowledge on all sorts of ways to tickle someone, as well as what tools can be used to get the best reactions and laughs out of someone. Never had the chance to explore this with a partner. It's kind of repressed, but maybe I will someday. Because I'm a kink, I get uncomfortable when someone I know mentions tickling or tries to tickle me because I see it as a sexual thing. It's so bad that I can't even say the word out loud without getting embarrassed because it's so naughty to me. Anyway, Lucy, are you ticklish? Not around you, bitch. I would sever the nerves. I actually don't think like tickling fetishes are like weird. I get it. It makes sense because you're making someone happy, but I would never want to be tickled in a sexual way. So I hope you find someone that likes to be tickled sexually. When I was a little kid, maybe like kindergarten, I was playing in a sandy playground near the beach. While playing, I found a red ant pile underneath one of the jungle gyms. I got a pair of sticks and made an X on top of the pile. I then proceeded to make a trail of sticks and stones leading to the X from another part of the playground, as if it was a treasure map, but the treasure marked by the X was actually fire ants. A little girl excitedly followed the trail, and it was around this time that my mom said it was time to go home. As we were walking to the car, I heard the girl scream. But then got in the car and I left, and I have no idea what happened to that kid. She died. You killed her with your fire ants. That's actually awesome. She probably didn't even get stung. She probably saw there were ants and just screamed, knowing like little girls. I wear earphones at work, and it's against the rules. Jail. Life sentence, no parole. When I go to the rest of my work, I just sit there on the clock and wasting time. Death penalty. I peed on the highway from a bridge with some friends and caused a car crash. Oh my God. My crab cakes caused a car crash with their piss. That's powerful. Very powerful, actually. I once threw pretzel M&Ms off a bridge onto cars below, and then we got yelled at by a stranger. W stranger, because we shouldn't have been doing that. I don't know why kids are so destructive. Me and my friends put a porta potty on wheels and pretended to play Mario Kart in public traffic. The police found it hilarious and let it slide since traffic was calm that day. How the were you riding it? I can't even picture what the this would mean. Is it like this? And then here's like the door, and the door is like cut off probably, or else it would have to be open. And then there's like a kid, and then wheels, and then another kid pushing it. Is that how it would work? Every time I order Chick-fil-A, they give me like 6 packets of ketchup, but I only use 1 or 2 every time I eat. I have like 50 packets of ketchup sitting in a drawer. I can choose to order my food without ketchup, but at this point I can't stop myself. I don't have long until I become consumed by the ketchup. You deserve to be consumed by ketchup for making me read this. This is, you know what? I hope you have to make a whole new drawer of ketchup. I was driving home from work and it was 3 to 4. If you do not put an M after that A,
I will kill you next time.
I was driving home from work and it was 3 to 4 a.m. since we had to clean up the venue and I really had to poop. So I went 140 down the freeway to get home ASAP and use the bathroom since nothing around was open. Usually at the time it's empty. Turns out that night there was a cop on the freeway and I got ticketed for excessive speeding. He asked me why I was speeding and I honestly told him I have to take a fat. He stares at me for about 2 minutes, eventually says, next time, just pull over and go on the side. I didn't know that was an option at the time. Dude, you literally can poop anywhere. Just imagine you're like the alpha dog and then if there's a woman nearby that's into you and consents, pounce on her like a bunny and taste her surrender. I haven't told anyone, but as a kid, I fumbled a giveaway from Radio Disney. They had a call in for like free passes to Disneyland and they asked the name of a movie. Called in and was the caller in queue. But as a kid, I got nervous and talked about what I did for dinner. Aww. Now that I look back, it's kind of silly. No, that's so cute. That's really cute. I love that. At my first day at college, I was meeting guys on my floor and got to chatting with a bunch of them in one of their rooms. Paul and started getting passed out, which made me kind of uncomfortable because I wasn't old enough to drink. A bunch of girls showed up around 8 to join in and drink and party. I left to go find something else to do. A few hours later, I'm in my dorm's bathroom showering and a bunch of guys walk in very drunk and chatting up a storm. They realize someone's showering, ask who it is, and I answer. They reply with my name. Dude, hell yeah, we're talking about my penis. And after listening more, I realized I had walked out on an I don't really regret it. I bet you $50 that did not happen. There's no way in hell that a college party turned into a They were probably just like lying to you to seem cool. I my girlfriend, okay, at the back of a school assembly, okay, next to someone who was hitting on her. She wanted to try and I was feeling petty. He never talked to her again. Okay, so she just took her out and you started her in front of someone? That's crazy. That's like harassment or assault. Don't do that. That's weird. I got put on Persona struggle tweets back because I said one of the characters were my wife and didn't realize that was a completely different character from the one I was talking about. It got big to the point where friends started DMing me about it. You.
What do you say me for?
I haven't told no one this. When I was around 14 to 15, I had a What? I know I asked for confessions, but please never ever confess this, even anonymously. Like literally repress this memory so far down that you never think of it ever again. Pray to God, atone. Like what the are you? What? You were old enough to know what you were doing was wrong. That's so awful and weird. I'm gonna pray that this isn't real, and I'm gonna convince myself that it didn't happen. One of my old classmates had with his aunt. There is no way you tried to throw your old classmate under the bus after saying you had a cow suck you off. My brother in Christ, I would rather have you your own aunt than have a cow suck you off. Holy shit. One time a cop pulled me over and let me go without a ticket. The girl I was talking to at the time was DMing me spicy pictures while I was in call with her and I was speeding without realizing it. The cop let me go because I was in a phone call with my significant other that got very heated. I don't think he knows it was just us being a couple of nasties. For the records, I kept my eyes on the road for the most part. I just never saw my speedometer, and the spicy pictures, I only glanced at them for a second before watching the road again. Don't be a dummy and drive safely. Yeah, drive safely. Also, roadhead sucks. Never do roadhead. Just so I had a secret crush on my childhood friend for 3 to 4 years while she dated her boyfriend. I never made any moves out of respect for them and their friendship. I ended my crush on her and her boyfriend proposed to her. It's been a couple years and our friendship has been good, and I plan to never tell her this and bring it to my grave. Good for you, man. I hope you find someone that's available. I was cheated on by a girl I was dating and found out after a video of her getting intimate with someone was posted. Oh no. I doubt it was her that published that. I hope that girl is okay. Also, I'm sorry you got cheated on though. But also like that was probably revenge or something. I try to be as positive as possible to everyone around me because of the immense amount of self-hatred that I have. I don't want anyone to have to feel or experience the kind of negativity towards themselves as I have for my own existence, because I know it's a crushing weight to carry and what kind of thoughts it gives to lead you to dark areas. You're only gonna have yourself throughout your whole life, so you need to start learning how to like yourself. You don't have to love yourself, but you need to learn how to start liking yourself. At one point in time, we were like a 4 or 5-year-old kid, and honest to God, I don't think anyone knows what the they're doing. I don't think anyone knows. We're a bunch of mammals who gained sentience and self-awareness and are very aware of the fact that everything ends. That's a very hard thing to deal with. Whether you're 20 or 30 or 40, life is just a weird thing to experience. You gotta be gentle with yourself, dude. You need to just realize that whatever you don't like about yourself is probably very common and doesn't make you a bad person. The only reason you should not like yourself is if you're a genuinely miserable person that aims to make other people miserable. If you've messed up, everyone does. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone deserves second chances. Just be nice to yourself, dude. I just remember that my nipples get hard whenever I drink, which is so weird after noticing it happen after drowning 2 bottles of soju. Please forgive me for discovering this revelation. I'm pretty sure I know who this Crabcake is, but I think that makes sense because you're like just more sensitive. Another thing I remembered, which I don't think is crazy, but back when I avoided getting in trouble, I had this broken mechanical pencil and figured out I could launch pencils from it. Lo and behold, I messed with it during class and one pencil got prematurely launched towards the teacher. She looked at the classmate in front of me and assumed it was him. He tried defending himself and explained I had a pencil launcher, but she looked over my desk and lo and behold, my desk had nothing except the disassembled remains of my pencil launcher since it fell apart after it fired, which I think led her to not believe it. My stayed quiet. I guess that's why I never saw him in class after that. Damn, what the? She killed him? She took him out back? What'd she do? What did she do to Timmy? Just for like a pencil? What the dude, free my boy. When I was like maybe 5 years old, I got lost in my dad's, dude, I thought that said lost in my dad's smell. And I was like, okay, this is already weird. Small hometown in Mexico, and it didn't end up dead because one of the townsfolk recognized me and they took me to the town church where my dad found me a few hours later. I have no memory of that, maybe because it was traumatic, but I also think as a result, I'm not very good at getting lost in anything, whether it be real life wandering or in video games. You're like, never again. Even in video games, never again. A few years ago, I learned the hard way that literally pinching your wee-wee midstream is a severely bad idea when I was at a drug testing clinic giving my sample. I didn't want to get pee on the outside of the cup and the stream was really strong. I couldn't stop through sheer willpower, so I took measures into my own hands and felt a sharp pain. Didn't think too much of it until the stream turned very red. Oh my God. After a couple of weeks of pissing blood, I healed up, but I share this story so that hopefully the fellows out there will learn from my mistake and keep their happy and healthy. My brother in Christ, pinching your piss isn't gonna stop that. Also, yeah, if you ever have piss in your blood, make sure you talk to a doctor. Don't just like let it heal on itself because you have no idea what the you did down there. I was on a work trip, and because I was having car issues, I had to hitch a ride with one of my coworkers. It was a mandatory trip, so I couldn't miss it. I didn't have everyone's number, so my supervisor was asking people around to see if someone was available. I talked to one of my coworkers directly about catching a ride with him, and he blew up at me because our boss asking was too stressful for him. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence, and I was already feeling bad about asking, but I felt like he was being too harsh. We ended up sharing a hotel room, and he left me alone with his bag. Seeing as he shaved my nuts, I took his chapstick out and unchapped my balls with it. You need to stop doing things to your penis. Your balls. I need you to just let your penis breathe. I need you to stop unzipping your pants. I need you to stop pulling them down. I need you to just like hands where I can see them. What the are you doing? Chat, if someone is mean to you, just move on. Why have we flipped over a car, drugged people with laxatives, gotten a teacher fired or tried to, and now we're using some guy's chapstick on our balls? Chat, it's not that serious. When I was younger, we didn't have much money, so we had limited internet. Once I watched a bit too much YouTube, we went over the limit, but my oldest brother was the teen, so it was the obvious choice to blame. So who was blamed for it when I knew it was me? I'm haunted by this. You know, this person just like does their taxes on time, follows all the rules, mows their lawn. Like, I'm hoping one day Lucia will ask me to play games with her, so I've been practicing deadlock in my spare time in order to impress her. Dude, I'm so bad at deadlock, dude. Like, you don't have to impress me because I am dirt 5. I don't like the taste of white milk. I agree. It needs to be chocolate or strawberry milk. I agree. Cereal milk is acceptable if there's been enough cereal sugar mixed in. Otherwise, I dump it. I never drink cereal milk, especially if it has like so much sugar in it. I never drink cereal milk. I don't like white milk. It's weird. I don't really like milk in general. Chocolate milk is okay sometimes. I get jealous when Lucia shows more care and attention to other crab cakes. Makes me feel less important. My brother in Christ, I need you to take a 5-second break right now and just think this to yourself. I am not the main character. And then I need you to take a 15-second break and think to yourself, Lucia has quite a bit of people in her stream. It's probably very hard to keep up with every crab cake. And then I need you to take 30 seconds to yourself and think, Lucia is an online internet personality. I do not have any genuine connection with Lucia. I may be a little too parasocial. You are not less important. My goal as a content creator is to make people feel confident enough in themselves to go and find people in their area to become close to, whether that's like friends or relationships. I will say this right now. I am not a replace for a girlfriend. I'm not your girlfriend. I will never be your girlfriend. I would feel like I would be preying on you. I genuinely feel like that would be grooming. There's like an inherent power difference. I'm prey. It's okay. No. The end. Oh my God, I did it. Yippee. That was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, I have a crush on you and Cottontail VA, but in the same way, I have a crush on Ryan Reynolds.
Don't get me started about Ryan Reynolds. I will start talking about how he looks like a female squirrel.